For those born under the sign of Scorpio, a period of long endurance is coming to its logical conclusion. A cycle of adversity, lasting 7 long years, finally ends here and now, giving way to a completely new era. July 2025 heralds not just the turning of a new page in life's book, but a complete transformation of reality, marking a profound and irreversible transition. During this fateful month, life's energy concentrates like a tightly coiled spring, ready for a swift and precise shot straight to the target. Everything that has ever constrained those born under this sign, holding them back from their true potential, will be mercilessly incinerated, turning to ash. The astrological predictions presented below are not merely entertaining reading for idle curiosity, but rather a clear and uncompromising guide to action for those who have finally decided to stop yielding and bending to external pressure. A key astrological event will be the exact conjunction of Venus and Uranus, occurring on July 4th. This powerful alignment will impact 2 crucial life areas: the second house, traditionally associated with finances, personal resources, and deep self-worth, and the 7th house, governing all types of partnerships, including business contracts and marital unions. During this period, Scorpio's main, inherent qualities will manifest with particular strength and be highly sought after: their unyielding maximalism, uncompromising demandingness of themselves and others, and a heightened, almost intuitive sense for any injustice and hidden manipulation. This planetary combination will activate their inner strength, enabling them to take decisive action. If Scorpios feel that anyone, be it a business partner, colleague, or even a loved one, is systematically exploiting their resources, whether financial, time-related, or emotional, the time has come for an ultimate decision. They are strongly advised to confront the issue directly, without delaying an unpleasant but necessary conversation. Scorpio's nature does not tolerate carrying others' burdens and absolutely abhors intrusion into their personal territory, especially concerning financial matters and material assets. If in the past they might have silently accepted others' expenses, taken responsibility for projects not their own, or allowed their funds to be used, this flow will now be decisively interrupted. They will stop funding others' unviable ideas and refuse to be a bottomless wallet even for their closest relations, defending their boundaries with unprecedented determination. The second house always symbolizes the personal sphere of control and influence. The individual is called to conduct a thorough audit of their own accounts, to deeply analyze the true values that guide them. The question arises: is it expedient to continue holding old investments? Are current partnership terms truly beneficial? These questions demand answers. If it's a joint business, it's crucial to openly discuss profit and share distribution. If the terms are unsatisfactory, one should exit the deal without hesitation. There's no need to fear breaking off relationships. Scorpio, as is known, often wins when they decide to go all in, refusing to settle for less. By refusing unprofitable cooperation, it's necessary to strictly limit access to their resources for those who cannot appreciate them. Subsequently, by July, the individual will be able to observe the first fruits of these decisive actions: freed financial flows, a tangible increase in income, and most importantly, a deep feeling of being fully in control of their situation once again. On July 7th, Uranus in Gemini activates the 8th house, and this influence will last until November. This sector covers important aspects such as other people's debts, other people's money, taxes, inheritances, investments, and, of course, matters of deep transformation. It is during this period that Scorpio's strongest traits emerge: their indomitable toughness, striking perceptiveness, cold calculation, and unwavering readiness to go all the way, no matter the cost. The time has come when decisions must be made not only for oneself but also for everyone who, in one way or another, depletes personal resources. One should not be afraid to face the truth, no matter how unpleasant it may be. If debts have accumulated over 7 years, unresolved financial issues remain, or family histories are tangled, now is absolutely not the time for silence or inaction. If there's an outstanding loan, don't delay a visit to the bank, demand restructuring, push for the most favorable terms. If an inheritance is stalled due to disagreements, immediately retrieve all relevant documents, consult a notary, and bring the matter to a logical conclusion, even if it requires legal proceedings. The eighth house in an astrological chart always indicates a territory of absolute control and the necessity of making radical, sometimes uncompromising decisions. Scorpios, known for their decisiveness, do not tolerate unfinished business or external pressure that constrains their will. If an asset or financial investment shows a downward trend, draining energy and resources, the time has come for immediate action: sell, completely close, or mercilessly cut off at the root everything that drags you down. An example of this approach could be selling an outdated apartment, vehicle, or even an entire business that, instead of profit, brings only exhaustion. There's no need to fear direct conflict. It is during this current period that a unique opportunity arises to reclaim what rightfully belongs to you, even if previously you lacked the inner courage to assert your claims. If someone owes you money, you must persistently demand its return. All available official channels should be used, including filing statements, and any levers of pressure should be employed. The main task is to fully regain control over the situation, clear the space of everything superfluous, and thereby open the way for entirely new prospects. This astrological aspect promises a significant breakthrough in the financial sphere for those who refuse to play the victim and act like a true Scorpio, coolly, boldly, and absolutely without compromise. July 13th marks a period when Saturn, in retrograde motion, is in Pisces. This planetary position affects the fifth house, traditionally associated with offspring, artistic self-expression, personal valor, and the sphere of romantic attachments. In this area, Scorpios display their characteristic traits: absolute uncompromisingness, deep inner truthfulness, and a readiness to ruthlessly expose the essence of things. Such frankness, undoubtedly, does not always find approval from others, causing aversion in many. For a considerable time, individuals may have strived to meet the expectations of their children, parents, society as a whole, and partners, which led to self-limitation and confinement within rigid boundaries. However, this period is now coming to its logical conclusion. The fifth house represents the sphere where Scorpio must definitively refuse to play alien roles. They will feel a powerful inner tension, an irresistible desire to radically change everything that no longer aligns with their true essence. In the family circle, if children resort to manipulation or issue categorical ultimatums, Scorpios will no longer give in but will firmly establish their own immutable rules: actions must align with instructions, or inevitable consequences will follow. For example, if they were previously inclined to concede, they will now make it clear: either everything happens on their terms, or everyone acts independently, without expecting compromises. In the realm of creativity and professional activity, Scorpios should not fear changing their chosen direction. Those born under this zodiac sign possess an innate intuition, unfailingly recognizing when a previous style, current project, or established approach has fully exhausted itself or is on the verge of doing so. They should fearlessly present something entirely new to the public, even without complete certainty of how the broader audience will react. For instance, a graphic designer might cast aside all commercial commissions to dedicate themselves to creating their own original collection, or a musician might dare to share deeply personal compositions, not catering to mass appeal. They should not worry about public judgment. This is the true essence of this stage. In the sphere of romantic relationships and personal life, when a partner persistently demands that Scorpio be convenient, fully conforming to their own script, the time has come to end such compromises. By their very nature, Scorpios are contraindicated from being part of the gray mass or conforming to others' expectations. If they no longer wish to play an imposed role, they should decisively exit these relationships, without resorting to explanations or justifications. For example, when a Scorpio puts a definitive end to a prolonged and draining union, they don't seek approval, don't discuss their decision even with closest friends, but simply take this necessary step. If patience has lasted 7 years, that is more than enough. Everything that was once a genuine dream, but which Scorpio for some reason did not allow themselves, must now be boldly brought to life, starting right now. The fifth house position strongly demands that they be true to themselves, even if no one offers support. No one. And only in this state of inner integrity do true resources and genuine success come to Scorpio. It doesn't matter if there's no external support, for the universe itself is on their side. On July 18, when Mercury is in retrograde motion in Leo, the 10th house is activated, which governs aspects of life such as status, career, self-realization, and authority. It is during this period that Scorpio's unique, key qualities, which are extremely rare in others and almost entirely absent in other zodiac signs, manifest most brightly. Among these outstanding traits are irrepressible energy, incredible ambition, a strong desire to take absolute control, and a categorical rejection of mediocrity. The upcoming period urges Scorpios to decisively step out of the shadows, abandoning passive waiting for approval or unquestioning obedience to superiors. Upcoming events clearly indicate that all obstacles that have hindered their professional development until now will be removed. If Scorpios have been underestimated, they do not intend to stand by silently observing during this time. On the contrary, they will persistently demand deserved results and recognition. They will openly declare their achievements, boldly offering their own, sometimes unconventional, solutions to the most complex problems. If the current situation does not undergo desired changes, Scorpios should independently leave their current position, without looking back at colleagues' opinions or fears of losing familiar stability. For example, if one of them has long been unable to achieve a promotion, the time has come to initiate a principled and uncompromising dialogue with management, categorically rejecting any attempts at postponement. For those who run their own business, the time has come to boldly raise the cost of their services, launch innovative offerings, or explore entirely new market niches, despite accompanying fears. The main task facing Scorpios during this period is to completely disregard external evaluations and to make decisions based solely on their inner strength and confidence. Some Scorpios will realize that their former team or current environment has ceased to contribute to their development and growth. In such cases, they should immediately leave that environment. In July, entirely new horizons and prospects will open up for them. They should not be afraid to demonstrate their true qualities and potential, even if it provokes envy, negative reactions, and at times even anger or overt hatred from others. Let it be so. Higher powers, or the universe, are on Scorpio's side, and it's worth re-emphasizing. Now is the opportune moment to build their own career and social status from the ground up, in the unique way that is inherent only to Scorpios, through taking radical, decisive steps, demonstrating an unyielding will, and following their individual strategy. On July 20th, Mars enters conjunction with the South Node. During this period, the first house is activated, which is traditionally associated with personality, external appearance, inner intentions, and physical energy. It is then that Scorpio's key characteristics come to the forefront with particular strength, unwavering determination, inner fortitude, absolute readiness for radical transformations, and complete intolerance for anything and anyone that seeks to undermine their true essence. At such a moment, there is no room for self-deception or half-measures. The only correct path lies in the complete destruction of the outdated and the energetic creation of something fundamentally new. Many Scorpios will feel a significant surge of vital energy after this astrological event. They will experience an acute desire to radically transform everything that previously hindered their progress. They will end relationships with those who merely drain their inner resources or exert a destructive influence. Even at the slightest suspicion of such, Scorpios will unhesitatingly sever contacts, offering no unnecessary explanations and feeling no regret. They will abandon destructive habits not through gradual steps, but through a decisive and uncompromising break. Those born under this sign will restructure their daily routines, fundamentally adjusting their diets. They will actively engage in physical activity, whether it's going to the gym, running, swimming, or simply walking. The type of activity is not fundamentally important. It is only important that they immediately implement strict self-discipline, allowing no delays. Scorpios do not recognize compromises or half-measures in their actions. They should recognize and embrace their true nature. They strive to transform themselves to their very core, extracting their full potential. The activation of the first house demands decisive and bold actions from them. They will refresh their image, radically change their style, and also form a new circle of acquaintances that becomes stronger and more productive. They will take everything concerning their physical body and personal space under the strictest control. As a result of such transformations, Scorpios not only change externally but also acquire an entirely new internal mindset. They will gain a sense of pervasive power and absolute readiness for new achievements. This is how a true Scorpio acts. From an astrological perspective, they ruthlessly destroy what is obsolete and rapidly regenerate thanks to their colossal inner energy. The 7-year period filled with unconscious difficulties has passed. Now, a favorable time begins for them. On July 22, the Sun enters Leo. This astrological event activates the 10th house, symbolizing recognition, status, and the pinnacle of success, as well as the 11th house, associated with social circles, new connections, groups, and public influence. It is during this period that Scorpio's best qualities are fully revealed: their unique ability to go against the grain, powerful inner charisma, unyielding steel will, and natural perceptiveness, which is particularly noticeable in people born under this sign. On this day and in the days that follow, all circumstances align to bring the individual into the public eye and showcase their exceptional nature. Finally, the moment for this has arrived. One should not be afraid to stand out or be too noticeable. It's important not to let anyone pull you back into the general gray mass. All projects, ideas, and achievements should become visible and actively discussed. If a person has long outgrown their current environment, they should seek a new one, register on professional platforms, join business clubs, and network with those at a higher level. When feeling ready, it's the perfect time to step onto the stage, perform, and present oneself. Scorpio possesses a unique ability to command attention and make a strong impression. Right now, this quality will bring significant benefits. A career leap is possible, as well as gaining a leadership role, a partnership offer, or participation in a prestigious project. Crucially, do not stay silent about your successes or be shy about your talents. The more actively they are showcased, the more opportunities will open up. In July, every contact, every new connection, can be groundbreaking. Therefore, don't be afraid to take the first step or take the initiative. The main task is to step out of the shadows, become noticeable, and assert yourself without apology or the slightest doubt. Those born under the sign of Scorpio, by their very nature, were never meant to dissolve into an anonymous gray mass or get lost among a multitude. This knowledge, deeply rooted in their consciousness, constantly reminds them of itself. For those who may have been distracted or forgotten this, it is time to remember again that their pivotal time arrives in July 2025, a truly momentous month for radical transformations and overhauls. During this period, procrastination is absolutely unacceptable. It is necessary to act decisively, swiftly, while demonstrating complete uncompromisingness towards the outdated past and everything that hinders progress. Any significant action undertaken during this month promises to firmly establish itself and determine the future path for many years to come, exerting a long-term impact. They are required not to wait for favorable circumstances, but to actively dismantle old frameworks, erect new structures, and boldly take risks to achieve desired changes. Scorpios possess colossal inner power, and now this energy can turn in their favor, helping them overcome any obstacles. It is important that not a single impulse of this powerful energy is wasted or spent in vain.